He's the biggest in the...
We won't discuss, and we'll go places that other shows wouldn't dare. False history gets made all day, every day. The truth of the new is never on the news, but you hear news on the flip side, only on the UFO Paranormal Radio Network.
Hi everybody, this is Erica Getch. I hope to see you on Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific on the Galactic Connection, keeping you connected 1 hour at a time. For more information, please visit thegalacticconnection.com.
Breaking news. Strange black pyramid UFO ships over every major city on the Earth. People are exhilarated and scared. Reptilian strange creatures are beaming down. My God, they're beaming me up with them. Don't put that probe there. Don't put that probe there. Don't put ooh. Listen to the Church of Mabus radio show at 11 p.m. Eastern, Saturday nights with host Jeffrey Pritchett, bringing you the high strange. Visit www.churchofmabusradio.com. That's www.churchofmabusradio.com.
Tune in to the Mind Cemetery with your hosts Chip and Nicole every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on the UFO Paranormal Radio Network. We delve into UFOs, abductions, ghosts, aliens, conspiracies, and cryptozoology.
And how could you ever forget about those creepy topics you won't hear on your local news?
This is where I would insert my skeptical statement. The Mind Cemetery, where the paranoia about the paranormal comes to rest.
Follow us on Twitter and subscribe to us on Facebook. Also check us out on our website, Mind-Cemetery.com, for show updates and the critically acclaimed Mind Cemetery blog.
It's not critically acclaimed, but you should check it out anyway, Mind-Cemetery.com.
I'm your host, Chip, and along with me is my co-host, Nicole. You can catch the Mind Cemetery every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for 2 hours exclusively here on the UFO Paranormal Radio Network. If you like what you hear, then subscribe to us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter by searching Mind Cemetery. You can also find us on iTunes by searching UFO Paranormal Radio Network, listen to our archives on the UFO Paranormal Radio Network main page, and go deeper into the archives by searching for The Mind on blogtalkradio.com. You can find us, while on our site, you will find our show calendar to see who we will have on as a guest in the near future. Check out the Strange News feed, peruse our extensive archive of past shows in our archive blogs. Tune in to Welcome to the Mind Cemetery. This is where you will find our show calendar to see who we will have on as a guest in the near future. Check out the Strange News feed, peruse our extensive archive of past shows in our archive blogs, track UFO activity via the Alien Stalker, and as always, be sure to check out the critically acclaimed, often imitated but never duplicated Mind-Cemetery.com blog, where you can get information on upcoming shows, information on past shows, and plenty of interesting nuggets and tidbits that are blogged about throughout the week. You can join the discussion in the UFO Paranormal Radio Network chat room on Pal Talk, or call in to ask your favorite hosts and guests your own questions on our show hotline. That number is 504-273-7379.
Hey.
Hello. Yes. We are working with the new equipment right now. Nicole, do you hear me at all?
Perfectly.
Do I sound too loud?
No.
Too overdone?
No.
Too close to the microphone?
No.
Hearing some humming back.
Now you sound a little further from the microphone.
No, I'm hearing some humming.
I do not hear humming.
Okay. I don't know. I'll have to listen to the archive as usual to find out for sure, because I don't trust anybody's opinion about anything. How about now, Nicole?
I think you sound fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's you that I hear humming, actually, at this point. Because I can tell when your mic goes on and off. Wow. Is it the difference, you think, between the two microphones? Is it the difference between the two microphones, Nicole? Is it the difference between the two microphones, Nicole? Because I'm pretty sure you have yours muted right now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. Glad I asked that question 3 times to get a simple yes. Well, thank you all for joining us in 2013. You've seen that so far it's the same old shit. Yeah, really kind of pissed off right now, to be honest with you. Just woke up from a nap 10 minutes before we went home, which I rather preferred not to have gotten up 10 minutes, maybe a little bit, 10 minutes, maybe a half hour. Nice. So wake up, shake dizziness away. Whatever. Get what we get, right, Nicole?
Well, sure.
So anyway, we don't have a guest tonight. What we do have is some discussion about some things that have been going on in the last 2 weeks. Right?
Yes. Are you adjusting your levels at all? Because I do hear it humming.
No, I am not adjusting the level, and it's because your mic's wide open.
No, it's not.
Okay. Where at should I be adjusting levels?
I just hear it when you're not talking.
Okay. Where at should I be adjusting the levels?
It would be on the microphone itself, the microphone.
Oh, you mean the dial on the front?
Yes.
How about now?
It seems good to me. I don't hear it anymore.
How about now?
I still don't hear it.
Okay. Yeah, it's the only thing I can adjust, I guess, is the knob on the front here. Which is a Yeti mic, so there's only one knob on it, in case you were wondering at home. It's semi-professional, I guess. Or it is professional, depending on who you ask. So no more chicaneries of a headset and all that. Nicole still has that, though.
I do, but I'm not very important, so it's okay.
Yeah. Do you not want a headset?
Not particularly.
Do you want a microphone?
No.
You don't want either?
No, they take up a lot of room. And room is something we do not have, so.
To take up.
Correct.
Okay. Well, as you can see, we're still alive. Peggy. 21. Nicole, are you happy?
I am not.
That you're still alive?
No.
That you made it through the apocalypse?
I really wish I didn't. To be honest with you, I think it would have been easier if I did not.
It would have been a lot easier?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to deal with too much?
Correct.
There you go. I got sick, and I feel like it's trying to creep up again. So, I don't know. I really need to sleep is the real problem, which is also, contributing to the pissiness. So,
yeah.
I
have done everything within my power to make him go to sleep at night as well as wake him up on time, but neither of those things play out well for me.
I've been sleeping a lot during the day, and my sleep schedule's messed up. So
yeah.
I can't help it.
I've noticed.
I've noticed, she says. Okay, well, that's fine. That'll work. So, Nicole. What are you doing?
Just sitting here.
Life in general, how are you doing?
I'm pregnant. Still pregnant.
Still ragingly bloated?
Very, very pregnant.
Pregnant.
As pregnant as you can get, pretty much.
Okay.
At the limit.
At the limit of pregnancy?
It's not much more pregnant that you can be.
That can happen?
No.
It's as pregnant as you get?
Yeah. So hopefully, another week or two here, and I'll have a child. So.
Okay.
And not a pregnant body.
That'd be nice, right?
Yeah. It'd be very nice.
It'll always work out well?
Yeah. As long as I can handle my business at work. I am having to fire and hire people left and right over the last 2 weeks to cover for my maternity leave, so.
Yee.
That's no fun during the holidays either, or right after the holidays.
So it's the business of doing business, I guess, right?
It is the business of doing business, correct.
With people.
With people that fail.
And you're in the business of doing business.
Fail you and disappoint you constantly. It is one constant disappointment after another.
What is, business or people?
People.
There you go.
Never trust anyone because they will always screw you all the time.
In the face. In the face.
Yes, especially when you most need them. Most need people is when they really like to screw you up the ass. I've noticed.
You're kidding, right?
No, that's how it works out in my life, at least. Maybe I'm feeling very emo tonight or something like that, but I truly hate the world today, and I wish it did end on December 21st because it'd be a lot simpler.
Oh, God knows it would be simpler. That's for sure.
Wouldn't have to deal anything. It's okay, everybody. Don't mind me.
Don't mind me.
I'm just 9 months pregnant, trying to work a full-time job and take care of a 2.5-year-old. But your problems are far more wicked than mine. Oh, because you need a life change. Really?
Life change?
Really?
Who says that?
I'm not naming names. I don't do that like you do.
Whoa. I am the name namer.
I
am the one that name names.
A little bit of class up in here.
Oh, class my ass. How's that sound?
I'm sick of everybody in my life except for my son. Everybody else can kiss my ass.
I'm sick of everyone. Okay.
All y'all. Except my son. But every person I know is annoying. And is trying to screw me over.
Annoying and screw you.
Yes.
Well, basically just by lying to you, though.
Yeah. That's the theme.
As usual.
That's the theme for 2013.
I lied to get this gig, is the theme.
It has nothing to do with lying. It has to do with, yeah, I can do that, and then failing miserably.
Covered.
Depend on you most.
Depend on you most, fail.
I
The
love
biggest fail.
when people leave me up for lurch. And the other thing is, why can't I get a goddamn Shamrock Shake?
Stop it.
Shamrock Shake.
You made it the other day.
Made one, but it's not a legit one. I just want to go to McDonald's and get a Shamrock Shake. I don't understand why they only offer these a month a year.
Well, you know what I'm pleased with is that...
Following of this thing. Sell it.
Whew, cult followings. That's a good tie-in for later on in this episode. You know, I'm glad we finally started talking about something paranormal. The Shamrock Shake.
It's not paranormal.
It involves a leprechaun, I think.
No, it doesn't. It involves mint, which, by the way,
folk.
Mint extract is actually clear, so I have no idea why the shake is green.
Well, food coloring?
Well, it is food coloring. I know how it's green. I just don't know.
Oh, okay. You understand the color part.
Yeah, I just don't know why we insist on coloring things green that are mint flavored.
Well, it's green is the universal color of mint.
I don't know. But I love shamrocks, and I want a Shamrock Shake, and I can't get it. I'm peeing all the time. No one cares about me.
No.
No one. I have no one in my life that's like, Nicole, I'm sorry that it's rough for you right now.
No, Nicole, I'm sorry that you have to live life like a human. And things happen and people lie to you and say they can do things and they really can't.
And I have a swollen body that goes in contractions every night from 6 to 10.
Giant sausage fingers.
Yeah.
Picking at food.
And I pee when I blink.
Oh, I'm so tired of you peeing your pants. It's not even funny.
I know. This is things that you didn't know about pregnancy. Accept them.
You know what I want to know?
What?
Would a leprechaun be considered something a Fortean would study, or a cryptozoologist?
A what would study? What was the first one? A 14?
A Fortean.
What is that?
Would you classify the leprechaun as an undiscovered, undocumented beast type thing? Animal?
It's a humanoid.
Oh, okay. Well, so is Bigfoot. Interestingly enough, that we mentioned that. So it's like the lizard man.
I mean, do you really know that?
The skunk ape.
Do you really know that Bigfoot's a humanoid? I don't think you do.
That's what people say. They, and I'm putting up the rabbit ear quotations.
Okay, well, I say that all unicorns are 10 feet tall. What the hell does it matter? It's all conjecture. No substantiated proof behind it.
Would it be conjecture along with hyperbole?
Hyperbole is wild numeric exaggeration, so no.
Okay, so they can't put a number on the unicorn.
No.
Or the Bigfoot.
There's no numbers. There's no anything.
There are plaster casts in a building somewhere in Maine.
I can make plaster casts of my titties. I don't understand.
That doesn't make them real, though.
Exactly. What's the point?
That's interesting. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the plaster cast argument, as we'll refer to it from here on out.
Okay. Here's an idea. Show me a body of this stupid thing.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute here.
A legit body.
I know. We're not talking about just like a dog or a bear body, right?
If there's a Bigfoot, show me a body.
First of all, a bear or a dog wouldn't be anatomically correct.
Let's talk about this, because if there was a Bigfoot, right, we would assume that this thing is not immortal. Okay? So
are we able to assume?
We are able to assume it's not immortal.
Should we assume?
Nothing immortal exists within our scientific realm as we currently know it. Alright, so ergo, the thing would have to reproduce in order to continue to exist.
So you're talking about a base number of this said species.
There has to be. Now, if it has to reproduce, okay, that implies...
Yes.
First of all, asexual reproduction is slowly being weaned out of evolution. I mean, only dwelling organisms use asexual reproduction. So we can assume it's not asexual in its reproductive manners because it's so complicated. All right. So, and assuming, again, this Bigfoot is as big as everyone describes it to be, that means its gestation is going to be longer than a human gestation. Okay? So let's say, hypothetically, it makes a baby for 11 months or a year, assuming it's way bigger than humans are, right? It takes them a year to cook a baby. That means... Her. So there's a family of Bigfoots, whatever...
I would go with Bigfoots.
There is a male Bigfoot. There is a pregnant female Bigfoot carrying a what? 60-pound baby?
No, it's not 60 pounds. I would think
20 pounds, 30 pounds, hiking it through the woods. I mean, where's all this stuff happening?
Well, if I could pontificate on the gestation of a Bigfoot, of which I'm probably one of the more qualified individuals to do so.
Why?
Because I got a piece of paper on the wall that said I went to Bigfoot U, which actually I just made that up. And, yeah, big surprise, right? Made up Bigfoot U.
You made that up. No one.
So at Bigfoot University, right, after I got my degree, I decided to decide how long it would take for a Bigfoot to develop, gestate, I guess, right?
Gestation is the term for which, from conception to birth.
The Immaculate Conception in Bigfoot. Oh, what a...
Conception to birth. There is no Immaculate Conception. All right, there's two big feet somewhere getting it on.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we went from none of them exist to now there's two of them banging in the woods, banging it out.
That's the only way I'll accept it. Okay, either they don't exist at all and they go the way of leprechauns and unicorns, or there's multiple big feet having sex in the woods.
Can I just mention one of my favorite fantasy football team names that I've ever had was actually named Bigfoot's Penis.
Okay.
It was great, and I had a picture of a monkey standing with no pants on. It was classic. There was a photoshopped genital area. It was a good time.
What if Bigfoot is just, somebody in the chat room brought up it's just a human that has too much steroids?
Human-roid. Okay.
Steroids, you grow hair. I mean, what if, seriously, it was just some douche that went a little overkill with the juice?
Do steroids make you grow hair?
I don't know.
All right, well, first of all,
I'm Googling.
It would explain why you couldn't find oh, God. The kind of questions we're asking each other about the sexual habits of the Bigfoots, which I studied at Bigfoot University, are like regular questions on Coast to Coast whenever you have a Bigfoot expert on. What's the Bigfoot eat? Lucky Charms, for Christ's sake, is what he eats, okay? Because he doesn't exist.
What does it matter? What does any of it matter?
Exactly. Do you think they live in a tribe?
Maybe you can have some sympathy for how I feel about the rest of your field now.
My field? These are my pizza.
Your people. Okay, this is how I feel about every single topic we discuss.
These people.
It's just like, all right, let's debate, gigantic man-eating muffins, there's unicorns that sing Tony Bennett. Or whatever I'm trying to say. Tony Bennett songs. I mean, it's pointless. What's
Oh, it's absolutely pointless, she says.
I love man-eating muffins versus unicorns that sing Tony Bennett songs. That's the best off-the-cuff metaphor I've ever come up with.
It is brilliant, and I do enjoy it. So, in this fantasy land that is, it's pretty rampant with a lot of people that do claim to be experts on Bigfoot and Bigfoot hunting. More rabbit ears, because I guess you have to define what exactly is Bigfoot hunting.
Well, you need to define
because some people take it as if, someone in a tree stand or a wooded blind is in camouflage ready to shoot a Bigfoot, which, quite frankly, I don't understand. Where's the aversion to such a thing? Blast Bigfoot in the face if you see him, okay? And first of all, I think I'm going to have PETA after me now for saying blast Bigfoot in the face. Second of all, I've got many Bigfoot lovers in arms, I'm sure now, which I thoroughly enjoy. I find it hilarious.
Do you actually love the Bigfoot?
Yes.
Who?
Like, people who have spent a lot of time in the woods, like, say, hanging bacon in a tree with strobe lights, and then hiding across the field having a smoke, waiting for him to show up.
Does he ever show up?
You never know. He's stealthy. He's 7'8" and...
How is he stealthy if he's almost 8 feet tall?
He's poetry in motion, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my god, I just figured it out.
What?
He is Slenderman.
Slenderman? No, he's Bigfoot Man.
No, he's Slenderman. They've been confused. They've been getting...
strapping men.
They're Slenderman is Bigfoot, and Bigfoot is Slenderman.
And well, the reason I bring up shoot Bigfoot is because it's like saying shoot a unicorn in the face, right? We're on board with that.
Yeah.
And I may be a believer, but I'm not sap. I'm not a sap, as Walter Sobchak would yell in The Big Lebowski. Maybe bereaved, but we're not saps. I mean, until I see... speaking of another movie reference, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, why don't you wheel that carcass down here, and show me, and then maybe I'll care about shooting Bigfoot in the face or not. Because all day on these researchers that come on coast to coast, and I've been listening to it lately and being more disgruntled with it, of course, which I do very well. What a big surprise. Two things I do well, disgruntled and hating, okay?
Yeah, well, really, if he had to have a talent set, that would be it.
Disgruntled, hating, and arguing.
Yeah. Literally, he wakes up angry.
Grr.
He woke up and told our son to shut up.
He's kicking me in the back and yelling in my face, and...
He's 2.
Swatch toys, and my God, I'm dying. I'm dying inside.
Welcome to having kids.
Evidently. Pal Talk's being a little weird to me. Is it okay for you?
Pal Talk?
Yeah, I can't see the chat room.
I can.
Okay. It's bustling with news and outrage.
First of all, Chris George asked a question in the chat room, and Slenderman is real.
Okay.
Slenderman is actually out for me, and if you hear any buzzing on Chip's mic, it's because Slenderman is outside.
Wait, they hear buzzing?
Occasionally.
See, this is what happens when we go live and not turn it down a little bit more.
You press the snooze button that many times, that's what happens.
The snooze button? I hate you. Don't you blame me for my...
It's your fault.
Did you hear that? I want everyone to know how much I despise this woman.
Go ahead.
Oh, just for the life of me, I will.
Okay.
I can't load the room. Son of a whore. I'll slap the shit out of this Pal Talk messenger.
I will.
No. You know what? And just because I can't use it like a normal human being doesn't mean you shouldn't log in right now and interact with us, because
Dang it. And I'm really all that matters Chip doesn't matter.
Okay, fine. Field the questions, for God's sakes. Do something around here besides make a baby.
I'm really good at that. In fact, I've come to believe that in the zombie apocalypse, I'm probably going to have to be a breeder.
No.
Which is not something I enjoy, but I'm good at it.
Nice. No, let me get back to this shooting Bigfoot in the face, because that's fun. That is actually fun.
We actually have a question, though.
Okay. Go ahead and field it, please.
I don't know what it means.
Was it what caliber would I use to shoot Bigfoot in the face?
No, it says, why perhaps do reps other off-world aliens Bigfoot's OD on DNA steroids intergalactic sub-war?
Oh, I wonder if, like, Bigfoot is like this.
I wonder if Bigfoot typed that.
His pictures are too big. That's why we can't understand it, right? Gigantor finger on Bigfoot. Big hand is what he should be called from here on out.
Oh my God. What if, okay, there's like weird porno out there, right? There's like animal porn and midget porn, like weird stuff, right? What if there was Bigfoot porn? Like, if there was a Bigfoot, don't you think the porn industry would capitalize on that as soon as possible?
First of all, where is Bigfoot going to watch this porn?
No. I'm talking about the porn industry shooting for like non-Bigfoot people.
A tree monitor?
No, the porn industry would be like, oh my God, it's Bigfoot. We have to record this and show it to the straights.
Do they have the straights? The norms out there?
The normies.
We're going to get all these normies to come into the fold here.
Yeah.
Get them hip to this.
I think there's a lot of money for the porn industry to make there. So, I mean, of course there's no Bigfoot, because if there was, the porn industry would have already discovered him.
True. Very, very true.
Kiss my ass, PETA. That's my explanation.
Kiss my ass, PETA. It's classic.
Why are we talking about Bigfoot so extensively?
Well, that's because later on I'm going to talk a little bit more about Bigfoot. Anyway, what was I saying? We digressed too far. Shooting him in the face, yes. And researchers, and how much they want to act like they're like the, how do you say it? The Bigfoot protector, you know? How they're like, the keepers of the Bigfoot.
They're advocates for the foot?
Yes, they're like Bigfoot rights advocates, you know? Which, I mean, how did that work out in Planet of the Apes, you know? Not too well for us.
Yeah.
So why are we going to give Bigfoot rights if we're just going to nuke ourselves? And there I go. I just jumped the shark. With Bigfoot. While I was rating him.
Nuke ourselves?
I don't know. It's a Planet of the Apes reference. About 5 people got it.
No, I got it. It's just, it's kind of...
It has no place in the new Planet of the Apes movies, but like in the original ones, it's apt.
I like the new Planet of the Apes movies.
Of course you do. I like Charlton Heston, Moses, and gun-toting weirdo crank Moses. Holy Moses. Anyway, they're all like, they try to advocate, and here's what I think it really is, against shooting a Bigfoot, right? Because there's idiots out there that dress up like Bigfoot and try to hoax things, right? Imagine that, right? There's a lot of hoaxers, and they dress up like Bigfoot, and they romp through the woods. So, like all the Bigfoot, quote-unquote, hunters, whether it be with a rifle or a camera, or however you want to hunt this Bigfoot and take pictures or whatever, they think that if you advocate shooting Bigfoot, then the chances to kill a hoaxer exponentially rises. Does that make sense?
It does.
So, in a way, they're like, no one wants to be responsible for saying shoot Bigfoot in the face because the day someone shoots Bigfoot in the face and it kills a human in a monkey suit, oh, well, XYZ told me to shoot Bigfoot in the face, so everything's fine. Which, of course, as we know in court, as soon as you say, well, somebody else told me to do it, they exonerate you from responsibility, right?
It does.
You know, oh, well, he told you? Shit, let's go arrest him.
Yeah, that's true.
You can go free now for being a moron.
True.
So, sorry. There's that. And, so that's what I think the main reason people say don't shoot Bigfoot is because they're just worried that some moron's going to get killed. And I know some of them say, well, someone already has gotten killed. I can only hope, okay? I can only hope that some smartass in a monkey suit got shot. Honestly, I don't know why. That's funny, but I guess it is. To me.
Only you.
I don't know why I want some moron to get lucky.
Because he's hoaxing Bigfoot. How pathetic and sad is your life that you need to dress up like Bigfoot to hoax somebody else? I mean, you have nothing better to do, really.
Put that on his tombstone.
Your life was sad and pathetic.
Well, no, died hoaxing Bigfoot.
Your life was sad and pathetic.
That kind of puts a damper on your life from there on out, right?
Well, you're dead. Because it's on your tombstone. Well, so, yeah, it does put a damper on your life.
Like, could you imagine the thoughts that you'd be thinking after?
After you're dead? No, I can't.
No, before you die, when you're thinking about your life and what you've done with it. I should have spent more time with my kids. I should have learned to skydive or something crazy.
I shouldn't have dressed up like Bigfoot to try to hoax some dumb hillbillies.
Your last thoughts of, this damn suit killed me. Oh. And then, of course, you have surviving family members crying, oh, he was such a good guy. He was always a jokester. Oh, horrible. He had a great sense of humor. Yeah, he did. He's committed to his craft. Oh, now I'm happy. It's always going to brighten your day thinking about the fanciful possibilities, right? Unbelievable. So, hopefully not too many people are listening for the first time, because I'm definitely getting my it's the Bigfoot community listening stick out and poking it to get them a little riled up, because they deserve to be riled up. A lot of them are very serious individuals looking for a very unserious thing, and or real. Like I said, I may be the believer here in the whole situation, but I can't do it. I can't do the Bigfoot. I've reasoned myself out of it, right? And obviously my English skills are unparalleled. So, between my Bigfoot reasoning and English skills, it's pretty much a wrap, So, but go ahead and jump in the Pal Talk chat room with any questions for the Bigfoot hater, I guess. And we will keep talking about Bigfoot and a couple other things that have happened in the last 2 weeks. And we'll get back to Bigfoot, that's for sure. But over the last 2 weeks, since Nicole stepped away, I'll go ahead and talk about this real quick. We had former guest pass away, and by the name of Philip Coppins. He had a crazy rare form of cancer, angiosarcoma. It affects about 200 people a year in the United States. It was really crazy because he had his last blog post was on December 16th, and, you know, he was definitely facing his own mortality here with some great quotes and everything. He has a great motto that he wanted to leave behind. It was really, you know, really ominous kind of post that he knew he was going in for a surgery, so I don't know if he thought for sure he'd make it out of there, but it wasn't too long after our interview with him that he got diagnosed, and it really took a turn for the worse really quick, you know, and he, if you don't know who he is, he's, you more than likely recognize him from Ancient Aliens. And he is one of the more sensible individuals out there that doesn't do a whole lot of jumping to conclusions about whether ancient technology had to deal with aliens themselves, but he was just a big fan of ancient technology and ancient world stuff. And he's out there at philipcoppins.com, and you can check him out on Amazon and buy all his books. And we talk about his last book, actually, while he was here, and got a copy of it. Of course, you know, we get free copies of books and stuff like that. And so, you know, got a copy of one of those, and that's one I won't be giving away or anything. But what impressed me about Phil is that, in my opinion at least, he was, like, easily one of the bigger stars in the community that you could get. And didn't have a problem coming on our show and talking to us. And somebody say, well, yeah, because he's out there plugging a book, you know, and, you know, modus operandi is always to make money, I guess, right? Why would he turn down an opportunity? Well, fine. You can say that if you want. But, you know, he could have also said, screw off. You know, he could have said, forget it, I don't want to come on. I don't have time for you. I'm doing 7 other interviews today, which, you know, we talked about during our interview with him, how many more he had to do that day or that week, and it was something like 9, 10 more he had to crank out, you know. But he made time for everybody who wanted to have him on, and that's something to be commended in this field, that he never turned out, you know, he never acted bigger people he was being interviewed by, no matter how small or new or, you know, small of an audience they had or anything like that. You know, I'm pretty sure he did as many interviews as he possibly could, you know.
You mentioned that a lot. You really did like him, didn't you?
Yeah, I was a big fan of him. You know, because he's like the exact opposite of that Giorgio fucked hard hair fest guy. And
hey, how about the F-bomb on broadcast radio?
We're good. We're good on the internet, I think. Terrestrial, not so much. I let it slide. I'll cut that check for $30,000. I got that, son.
You might want to wait till next Friday to cash it.
Can we date that for next month? Or
let's date it for 2019.
Sam, cut me a break with you. Stack season. Actually, one kid to feed. The other one's probably not mine. But I'm just saying. That always gets Nicole always worked up. But yeah, Phil, it was a huge shock to everybody, you know, that he passed. And it was really sudden. So I'm really glad to have been able to have him on the show. And I know Church of Mavis was going to have him coming on soon, too, and kind of missed out on it. And there's a lot of shows that haven't interviewed him for whatever their personal reasons are, you know. So I don't know why you'd kind of want to restrict yourself in who you'd interview and that kind of. Well, I understand how to restrict yourself. You don't want to Hoagland, Passaggio, Eisenhower, Weber, Ike, on and on and on and on of jackasses, you know, that really do have a product to sell you and not too much else. So, Philip, there was a lot of substance there with Phil. in his ancient technologies work that he did. And he's got a ton of books out there that are really good, actually. A lot of stuff out that actually deal with real history, not just theoretical history, let's call it.
I love theoretical history. It's the best kind.
The UFO Paranormal Radio Network for the Philip Coppens episode that we did, or you can check it out anywhere. You don't have to listen to our crappy interviews, of course, or our unwitty banter, I guess. So, to get an idea of who he is and how he is. So, yeah. So, there's that bit of news that we had to cover. There's a couple other things that I want to hit, but I don't know if we'll have time before the break to discuss it. And then I definitely want to get into my Lauren Coleman bullshittery, is what I like to call it. I coined that term over at Mothy Talk. I dropped it there and at our Facebook page, at the Mothy Talk Facebook page. And
who is Mothy Talk? I mean, if you're going to reference them, at least throw in some love.
Runs that page, and I have some buddies, Ted Torbich, and internet buddies, of course. I don't know these people personally. Internet buddies, he says. I mean, what else are you going to call them, right? Jeff Pritchett, you know, the usual cohorts of tomfoolery out here. No, Ted's a very serious man, actually, with his Stench of Truth show. Check him out sometime. He does a lot of, I would call it political type things, but he's a big-time researcher. You know, he does his homework, and I'm finding out that there's always more homework to do, you know, in a lot of this. There's always some nugget somewhere that somebody has about someone, you know, and they help out with that kind of stuff, you know, to point you in a different direction or point you in a new direction to help you out to understand a topic that you're discussing a little better, you know. So check out the Mothy Talk Facebook page. I think it's a closed community of some people and a think tank, if you will. And that's where I kind of rolled out my Lauren Coleman blog first to them, and I was posting that at Mind-Cemetery.com. It's called The Bigfoot Whisperer. Yeah, Whisperer. Kind of like the Horse Whisperer, but it's the Bigfoot Whisperer. Get it, Nicole?
I get it.
It's a play on words, as Mo Sislak says. Frumsons. So, yeah, Lauren Coleman, yeah, what a wonderful dude. We'll be talking a lot about him here in the next hour, basically. I want to hit him in the next hour because I believe we have the most listeners in the second hour. Less competition out there, right? Hit him in the teeth, son. But the other things I want to touch on real quick is what I did while I was sick, which was watch Ghost Adventurers and Paranormal Witness, and kind of did a quick compare-contrast of the two. Have you ever seen Paranormal Witness, Nicole?
No, I saw it playing on the DVR when you were sick, but other than that, no, it's my first time hearing of it.
They actually had the Travis Walton story on there, the abduction story there, and which is one of the best stories out there if you're looking to get your feet wet in alien abductions and such. He says, because, yeah, you know, it gets pretty wild. You know, it gets all over the place, and that's fine. Fun to have fantasy time, and I'm a fan of it as well, but I also know the difference when I start hearing chicaneries and fantasy versus reality, and time to take things with a grain of salt, right?
Yeah, true.
True. Word. So when I'm sitting there, and I put out a bunch of tweets, I can't remember what, Friday or Saturday night, whatever, about Ghost Adventurers, and what they would, and their reactions to quote-unquote evidence, I guess, or events and stuff. And one of their big things they like to do is, besides use hair gel, is yell real loud, I guess. I guess when you yell loud, it means, something crazy's happening and dramatic, right? So the yelling usually always involves...
Or creepy music.
Yeah, and great camera angles where you're walking towards the camera like you're going to beat its ass, I'm going to get you, ghost. I'll show you. Just classics, And so anyway, a lot of it's something's choking me. A lot of something grabbed my ankle. It's pulling me back in the room. I can't fight this ghost. A lot of.
It sounds like a great show.
Doorway, like clutching the door jamb. Save me! Just full on, drama for the camera. Usually, there's a lot of provocation going on. A lot of, well, you wanted me here. Why don't you get out here, pussy? And stuff like that. And
I love provoking ghosts, and I don't understand why it's not exclusively done everywhere.
So I can beat you, I'm going to flex in your face and make you realize, But there was a point where they were doing some work, of course, with the the night vision camera, and you see this, the guy holding the camera, the dude with the goatee, was like, dude, there's an orb, dude! There's an orb. And it's blinking in and out, he says. I was like, well, it's coming in and out of a shadow, but blink, whatever, And it was, floating down. And I was like, I was tweeting, I was like, blinking orb or floating dust particle to the ground, I was like, yeah, whatever. And right afterwards, after he mentioned, hey, there's an orb, which, is a controversial thing anyway in the paranormal world of what the hell an orb is and, all that kind of stuff. And what it is and how it forms and if they even exist at all, right? But Zach's like, that form spirits take sometimes.
Oh, God.
What it is. And you're like, oh, okay, well, thanks for explaining it to us, Zach. And another thing that was hilariously bad was a lot of their EMF recordings. They'd, and a lot of other people were retweeting this stuff, laughing at them, because there's be a high-pitched squeal or something, constantly, and they're like, did you hear that? It said it wanted to kill me. And I'm like, do I need to get my hearing checked, or are you just making this up? Oh, that's right, you're just making it up. I forgot. And then, of course, everyone was like, yeah, dude, that's what it said. It's like, oh, okay. So.
Oh, my God.
How did you just figure that out instantly? What it said? Because, as you know, if you've ever heard a lot of EVPs, it's muffled and hard to hear, and the interpretation of it is so wide and varying, it's ridiculous. And during, not I think, but I know during some of our meetups with the Carolina Hauntings, Apparitions, Poltergeist Society, John Leary from Duke came over and was playing a lot of, he's a professor over there at Duke, and he played 10, right? 10 of the best EVPs that he's gotten during investigations, right? And he pulled a survey, basically, where he sent these out to a bunch of people in the community and said, okay, listen to these and tell me what you heard, and then, produce the results word by word, percentage-wise, of what people heard, you know? And, you know, the most, like, what's it called? The most, come on, help me out, what's the word? The most agreed... In that, you know, this is what was said in this, on, like, number 1, right? And it was broken into, like, 3 different words, and they're like, this word got, you know, 30%, this one 52%, and this one 67 or whatever, right? And they went through, like, all of them, and by the time you got to the bottom of the list, it was, like, percentages in the teens of agreeing, you know, and this is, like, over 100 researchers that were contacted to do this study, you know, and we did it real quick in the room with maybe, you know, 30 people listening to it, you know. And it really shows that how varying and insane EVP analyzing can be. You know, sometimes you can, and if someone gets to it and then says it, right, called front loading is what we call it. You know, especially in
what you call it in the industry,
quote unquote industry. It's hard to get that out of your head once it's planted. You know, it's like Inception, you know? Actually. It's a lot like Inception, actually. So, you know, let me know if Joe's telling us the countdown, because for some reason my chat room's still screwy. Looney Tunes.
Nope, nothing yet.
And the Looney Tunes with Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny, of which I think Daffy Duck's been shot in the face, and his bill just, like, turns to the side. So, you think if you shoot Bigfoot in the face, his mouth will just turn to the side?
It's very possible.
Turn it back, and it'll be funny, right? Oh, wait, no, because that's a person in that suit.
Wow.
It's going to be awkward for a few minutes. Mainly while they're still trying to live, but wow. I know why I think it's funny, because it's funny that people take it so serious. You know? Talk about Bigfoot being alive. You know? Are you drunk right now? They're like, well, I know because I got fur. We'll get into that. Okay? We will get into that, believe me.
Oh my god.
So, I did a lot of retweeting at Ghost Adventurers and tweeting at Zach Baggins, and he did a thing in Jamaica at Johnny Cash's house, right? So they're sitting on these stairs and doing EVP thing, and they're looking at this trophy on the wall of an alligator, evidently, that Johnny Cash shot, right? And so they have an EMF meter spiking around Johnny Cash's shoes and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, look at that. And I'm like, yeah, that means there's a ghost there. I know. You know, I get it. You know, when the rainbow lights up, there's a ghost here. And that's when you get to talk tough to it, you know, to talk to you on your microphone in your hand. See, that's how you do the investigation when you're a ghost adventurer, you know. And do you have something to say, Nicole? I'm sorry.
No, is there a written guide for that's how you behave when you're a ghost adventurer, or?
I haven't had time yet to go to Ghost Adventurer University. See, I spent all my time at Bigfoot University. I'm going to have to fly to the university and read some of those books to see if that's a trusted, tried, and true method there.
Oh my god.
Layman's eye, you know, it seems to be that way, but I'm sure it's much more complicated than that. And I'm far simpler man than to be able to accept those kind of things for what they are, I guess. So, okay, it looks like we are coming up on our break here. I've been notified via the secret message
Wow.
Doesn't it? When I say it like that. So we will be back in about 10 minutes, and we're going to have some fun kicking a couple people in the butt, and then, 3 people in the butt, actually. Maybe even 4. Who knows? Get your foot warmed up. You're listening to Mind Cemetery on the UFO Paranormal Radio Network. Check us out in Pal Talk, and call in with your opinion on anything I've had to say about shooting Bigfoot in the face and or penis. So, we'll be back.
UFO ships over every major city on the Earth. People are exhilarated and scared. Reptilian strange creatures are beaming down. My God, they're beaming me up with them. Don't put that probe there. Don't put that probe there. Don't put a... Ooh. Listen to the Judge of Mabus radio show at 11 p.m. Eastern, Saturday nights with host Jeffrey Pritchett, bringing you the high strange. Visit www.judgeofmabusradio.com. That's www.judgeofmabusradio.com.
Tune in to the Mind Cemetery with your hosts Chip and Nicole every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Exclusively on the UFO Paranormal Radio Network. We delve into UFOs, abductions, ghosts, aliens, conspiracies, and cryptozoology.
And how could you ever forget about those creepy topics you won't hear on your local news?
This is where I would insert my obligatory skeptical statement. The Mind Cemetery, where the paranoia about the paranormal comes to rest.
Follow us on Twitter and subscribe to us on Facebook. Also check us out on our website, Mind-Cemetery.com, for show updates and the critically acclaimed Mind Cemetery blog.
It's not critically acclaimed, but you should check it out anyway, Mind-Cemetery.com. Welcome back to hour number 2, The Mind Cemetery, with your hosts Chip and Nicole. The phone lines are open, and the number is 504-273-7379. You can join the discussion in UFO Paranormal Radio Network's Pal Talk chat room with our guests, the hosts, or give any feedback you'd like. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Visit our website, mindcemetery.com, for upcoming show news and blogs.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us again for hour number 2, the Deuce, I like to call it.
Deuce.
We actually have been eating a lot of Go-Gurt. No, I'm just kidding. It was a stupid commercial. Anyway, enough of the distractions and Bigfoot getting shot in the face. It's time to talk about what we came here to talk about.
Oh, God, here it comes.
And here it comes. First of all, I got a couple buddies on a little show called The Paranormal Revolution Tuesday nights. Eric Singleton, Sean Litton. So I'm sitting here on Facebook as usual, so I have no life, and I see Sean talk to some peoples about, let's see. Let me see if I can find the actual thread and all that. So anyway, they have this thing that they do called the Paratard Awards, right? And they talk about retards in the community. Imagine that, right? So there's this other couple of people that another show that decided to come up with an award show amazing title, the Paratard Awards. Their show's on Blog Talk. What's Nicole Ortiz and I don't know the other guy's name. Husband and wife duo again. Always. So I listened to their show, their last episode, with a shock collar, and it was just, yelling in a room, and there's one mic in the room, and just god awful, right? Bush League. And they've done maybe 30, 35 episodes. Good for you guys. Keep it up. Maybe it'll get better. So in this little thread where Sean, tells him, hey, we've got a word show we've been doing like that for years now. You think you could change the name of your page where you're trying to solicit people's opinions and ideas on who should be nominated for this, considering all? And, well, our page is going to be up for a couple days. Yeah, no, you don't get it. You don't get it, folks. You have an unoriginal idea that was ripped off verbatim from them. Whether you knowingly or intentionally did it or not is of no consequence. What you could do to correct it is take down your page and rename it. So they went back a couple times, and I finally jumped in and I said, look, just rename your awards, the para-fakes or para-frauds is what I called it. I said, there, call it para-frauds, the para-fraud awards, and move on. I was like, use that, be my guest, I don't care. And then, it just got into another stupid pissing contest of what they can and can't use and all this kind of stupidness, and we're like, and then at the end I got pissed off and I was like, you know what, screw off, you assholes. I was like, screw you two and your stupid ass thing. I was like, nobody cares. I was like, you don't know who I am, and I'm glad you don't know. Because we're better than you, flat out. I'll flat out tell you. Your show sucks, ours is better. How you like that? I'll get arrogant and be a jerk off and let you know that you're down there and we're just kind of over here. Sort of. So while I was listening to their show just so I could see what the hell it is they do, and I've ran into another drama fest that they were talking about. So basically, in that story, I don't know when their Paratard award show is going to be, but it has a lot of the usual people, and I think they've taken down the actual page. Let's see. Let's see, I can't. Yeah, I think they finally. Oh. CT, Soul Seekers. All this good stuff. Their interviews suck, basically. They don't have anybody worth a damn on there. And, basically they got all upset because I got on them and I was like, you know what, screw these two jerk-offs. Done with it. And, they're like, oh, since they're gonna be jerks. And I'm like, no, you can't just sit there and screw up and do something minor, be offered a solution that is fine. What, you didn't come up with Parafraud Awards? Who cares? Use it. Just go away and do your own thing, right? And they're like, well, since they're going to be jerks, screw up. Well, you were playing the screw us card from the beginning anyway, no matter what solutions or comments were made to you. So who are you crapping? It's just a joke. It's retarded. I can guarantee you'll win a Paratard Award this year, a real one, by the way, from Paranormal Revolution, who has done it first, and is also a local Raleigh show here, so in your face, good luck with whatever you're doing over there with your shot collar show. I'm sure that was a huge hit on Blog Talk. But anyway, I'm
really bad at paying attention. What are the Paratard Awards?
Nominate people in the paranormal community that aren't too good, basically. That aren't good at what they do, or they're straight up faking stuff all the time and have been found out to be less credible people, I guess.
How can I be nominated for this award?
Personally, I hope I win one too. I don't care, Would I get a plaque or something even, or is it just you about me in front of 50 fans? I mean, honestly. That'll be fun, too. So, anyway, speaking about talking about me in front of 50 fans, we have, 52 fans, so, in your face. And we've done this for, 3 years. Well, this is our 3rd year we're doing it. I don't know how many episodes, probably over 100 now, at least. Yeah, about 100-something, right? So, yeah.
Is this our 3rd year or 2nd year?
Calendar year. To be technical, because I'm sure.
Yeah, I think you make it sound always like our marriage is shorter than it is, and we've been doing the show longer than we have.
It's the 3rd year.
Okay.
Pretty sure. But yeah, it was, and I think, and they ended up deleting a lot of our interactions on their page where they were asking for you to go to some Survey Monkey or something and type in requests and all that kind of garbage. Whatever. We're done with you. We're right, you're wrong. You're stupid, we're smart. And you're not very, I've seen more ghosts than you. I don't know. What do you want? What else, Nicole? What else can I say?
I have seen more ghosts than you.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, during listening to their show, I got turned on to another drama fest with a former guest of ours, actually, and I heard them say, well, we'll never have this guy on our show. Wait, you weren't going to get him on anyway, you would have asked me by now, Some of your guests I've never, well, you know what, here's the thing. A lot of guests in the paranormal world I've never heard of, so what a big surprise, right? There's a ton of them out there, so, yeah. There was this Kurt Kessler was a former ghost or former guest, right? He probably will be a ghost in the future. He hopes to aspire to be one someday, I guess, right? Like the rest of us. Evidently, after the Sandy Hook incident, he mentioned who wants to go on a ghost hunt in Connecticut. Thoughts, Nicole?
How close was the timing?
Pretty close.
How close?
Close.
Like hours or days?
I think hours, actually. See, they posted, of course, a lot of the exchange on Worst Paranormal, which did their damnedest to bash Second Sight NYC. So, Worst Paranormal can pretty much blow us as far as we're concerned. So, have at that. Have some, please. Around the 16th, I guess, or sooner. I don't know. There's no dates on here or anything, of course. It's just hours.
Yeah, I mean, it would really depend for me on how close it was.
That's kind of what Kurt's thing was. Kind of came out saying, here's the problem, is that this Angie, Nicole is her name. I don't know. Another bane of my existence being named Nicole. How nice. No, I wouldn't qualify Nicole Ortiz as the bane of my existence. I didn't even know she even existed, so.
Just qualifying your wife as the bane of your existence.
Basically, So, her husband did say he was going to beat Kurt's ass, though. So that was interesting. I don't think, I'm sure I have said that. So I don't want to say I don't think I've ever threatened to beat anybody's ass on our show. It didn't happen, right? So.
I mean, you've threatened to beat my ass on our show before, so yeah.
It's justified, so.
Okay, so here's the thing. I feel like you may be grasping a little bit at the ghost hunt in Connecticut. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was coincidental that he was scheduling a ghost hunt in Connecticut. Nothing to do with the shootings. Like, I can tell you, you know, we have a pretty large, impressive roster of clients with very corporate accounts for social media, and like we called for a social media freeze on that day. All of our clients froze everything. There were no updates on that day, and you know, most companies followed suit. Like, there were no major updates on that day.
Okay. I believe it was put out, but don't hold me to it, probably within 24 hours of the event. But, because I can't see dates or anything here, and I'm sure as hell not going to go digging and all that garbage just to play games with this. The point is that basically in these exchanges tried to justify it by saying, you know, the deaths of children, their spiritual energy will be more intense, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Oh, so he did mean it. Okay.
It does kind of sound like it. And then he said, well, Mary Lincoln, you know, Abraham Lincoln's wife.
All right, that really kind of just made me upset. I don't want to talk about that. No.
Died, and then someone brought up the statement that you did. Well, you know, it's too soon, you know. And then he responds, well, how long soon enough? You know, and he gave the analogy of the Titanic being mentioned in Ghostbusters 2, and there were still people still alive, and is it acceptable to joke about it now, try to investigate, you know, just, you know, it got ridiculous. And then, to Nicole's credit, she did, Ortiz, did contact Kurt, you know, via messaging and ask him himself, and, in the messaging between those two, she said that, he actually was contacted by some families of that. Now, I don't know, and then Kurt also said, though, that he was doing this for just trolling's sake. You know, I don't know. So, and then saying, oh, hope you learned your lesson. Ha ha ha. You know, it's all just a laugh. Oh, okay. So, who knows? You know, who knows if he just said, I was trolling to cover his ass, or if the family contacted me to do investigations to cover his ass. Either way, I think there's some ass being done. What do you think?
I'm still a little bit flabbergasted by the fact that he actually intended to do that so shortly after.
You know, I kind of liked him when he was on, too, you know, and that's something that was brought up during their show when they were talking about it. Her husband was like, oh, he's got a book to sell. Duh. Hello. I'd love to knock on this mic, but it would just screw up everybody's audio. Of course they have books to sell, you moron. You know, they're monetizing their work. Oh, it's paid to speak at conferences. So would you stupid, you know. It's like, don't be surprised when someone's trying to sell a book or being paid to do conferences. Okay, this is it. You know that. Why is this news? You know, why is it, you know, the sky's blue? You know, cows go moo. Just what happens, you know. People become experts, wrap ears in the air again in their field, and they go and tell other people about it, you know, and then, oh, by the way, here's my book where I talked about it. So, yeah, disappointed, let's just say, in Kurt, because I did like him on the show. You know, he Demonology101.com, or Demonology 101 is his book, and Demon101.com is his website. If you want to go there and buy his book after hearing these kind of things, you know, be my guest. If you want to boycott him and tell him he's the devil, go for it. Do whatever. Take it, kids. I'm just the messenger here. So, yeah, in a nutshell, disappointed with Kurt. And, yeah, bad taste, to say the least. And to answer the question of how long till it's okay to do something like that, I don't know.
Never.
Okay, to, you know, talk about investigating a mass murder with kids.
No, okay, kids are off the table. What do you people not understand about this? off the table with kids. Don't bring them up. You have no right to it.
No, and that's not to say that during an investigation one may not pop through didn't think would, but hey, that's different, right? You know, you're not intentionally going after the spirit of a child. You know, it just happens, I'm sure, in investigation. So, yeah, there is a little bit of a difference there. You know, so I mean, you don't ask for things to happen that happen during investigations. Right, Cole?
I don't believe that investigations are legitimate in any way, shape, or form, so I can't agree with you. I apologize.
Okay. Okay. So that's Kurt Kessler. That's the, Paratard Award flap. That's all that garbage. So it's 10:30, and we are unequivocally the best live show on the air right now, across the board. Technically, our numbers should be going up, and I'm pretty sure right about the point I said shoot Bigfoot in the face, they rocketed down, But the comedy went through the roof. So, you win some, you lose some, right? I saw the Dice Man comedy thing this last week. Love it.
It was funny.
Love the Dice Man. So what I was dragging Lauren Coleman in here on this. I've had some beef with Lauren Coleman ever since I saw him posting about the Aurora, Colorado Batman Dark Knight Rises movie theater shooting. Okay? Not to get in it too quickly, right? Let's get right down to the brass tacks, as they say. What really pissed me off about his posting about it was the video he chose. Okay? He chose to use Cryptomundo as the site to post about a mass movie theater shooting. And I thought to myself, well, that's not very Cryptomundo-like, now is it? That's not cryptozoology related. That's not having anything to do with, now maybe Bigfoot walked in with a gun. Now walking, right? Crickets? Okay. So, and I said, and I kind of jumped on it at the time and said, that's some disgusting garbage right there that you would post about a mass shooting on Cryptomundo of the quote-unquote leader of, as defined by the site itself. And, and what outraged me is that when you go to the About Us on Cryptomundo and you read, and I'll read it verbatim, it's in my blog that I posted today called The Bigfoot Whisperer. This is taken directly from Cryptomundo.com About Us, verbatim. We welcome you. Cryptomundo is a place to enjoy the adventures, treks, theories, and wisdom of some of the most respected leaders in the field of cryptozoology. Keep that in mind. This is a place for all ages to share, read, see, and learn about the finds and evidence of the most elusive and rare animals, parentheses, cryptids, on this planet Earth. Bigfoot, Yeti, Chupacabra, ivory-billed woodpecker, Nessie, Yowie, and more. Come back on part of the community for cryptozoology breaking news, new views, fun, and yes, occasional humor. We're glad you're here and look forward to hearing from you soon. The leaders. It goes on to list 4, one of which, Trek the World of Cryptozoology with Lauren Coleman. So, riddle me this. Which part of cryptozoology did a mass shooting in a movie theater fall under?
Search engine optimization.
It doesn't. It never did.
It fits under the search engine optimization platform.
Thank you. And let me explain, in a nutshell, what Nicole is. Social media guru, expert, internet genius. Okay? So, Lauren, and any of his friends out there that are listening, we're not stupid, okay? I may play one on TV and occasionally on the radio.
Okay, for a second. Don't bill me as an internet expert or guru. I take offense to both of those words, okay? I'm a digital strategist.
We'll go with digital strategist then. I thought it was analyst.
Whatever.
Now it's whatever. So, I've tapped her for her opinion on a few things, right? When it comes to the things I don't know, and I ask, right? So you're talking about Nicole. What does that entail? Search engine optimization.
Really? Is that really what you're asking me?
That post in Crypto Mundo relevant for them?
Because it's using buzz keywords at the time, which were things like the shooting and stuff.
Okay. And if you've ever been to the Crypto Mundo site as a visitor, you will see that there's a buttload of advertising on there, selling you everything from Bigfoot books to credit scores to free T-shirts and creative writing.
Now, don't get me wrong. We have some ads on our site too. On the homepage, I think there's 3, and then on the interior pages, I believe there's 2.
Yeah, and this is something where I got into it with Lauren on the Secret Sun, which is run by Chris Noling, I think is his name. I'm not sure. I was like, you're just doing this to make money, to drive traffic to your site and your blog, Twilight Language, where you can talk about the copycat effect, which is the book you sell. And that's all you're doing this for. Well, I don't make any money from this. I make, he says, I don't make any money from the website. Okay. But I had an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I was talking about that aspect. So you say you don't make any profit from the website. Okay. Paid anything? A salary? To do your postings? Do you get paid anything? Do your work as a quote-unquote leader on Crypto Mundo? Or do you do it for free?
The operating costs of this website, you're probably looking at, assuming they have no clue what they're doing, maybe like $150 a year, and that's on the very, very high end.
Of how much it costs to get this website cranking?
Yeah, honestly, like our website, I obviously built our website, so there's no cost. The hosting, I have it on a shared server, so the only thing I paid for was the domain name. So, assuming they had to buy their own server, you're looking at $5 to $10 a month over 12 months. So, $120 or something for the hosting, plus $10 for the domain name. So, and it looks like it is using, let's see, it was using a free theme built from site. So.
Okay. So, like I was saying, when I, got told how to rephrase questions to him, because Lauren is a wordsmith, he's a brilliant person. There's no doubts about that. I'll never him being very well educated in the field of social work and social sciences and anthropology. That is where he got his education and applies his trade best, these days. In the past, as a crypto investigator, I guess, I don't know what to call it, whatever they call themselves, he did a lot of research. And again, another great question of mine is, when was the last time Lauren Coleman was involved in any kind of cryptid research in the field? I know he's written a ton of books about the subject, but I can't tell you the last time I heard of him putting boots on ground doing research somewhere.
Well, isn't he like an old man?
He is an older gentleman. Don't want to really do that. I'd rather focus on his work. We can...
No, what I'm trying to say is, don't you think, I mean, maybe he has some physical complications or something that prevent him from putting boots in the field.
I understand if that happens. We're all human, and as we get older, things restrict us. Okay? I understand that. My point is, though, it's more, to me, in my opinion, that from looking at everything, it's something where he's more of a researcher, where he's compiling information from various sources and pumping out books, on topics, and not doing so much original research. You know what I mean? And the research that he had done, it's more of a living in the past kind of thing. So here's the rub, so to speak. Hang on a second. What I'm proposing is that Coleman uses the crypto world and his past work there and his fame garnered from it to currently push his work with the Copycat Effect book that he has and Twilight Language. So, he has one foot steeped in both worlds of cryptozoology, which is the community that was forced to follow him, and then it's slide you over here with the social work that he's done about human behavior. Okay? Do you understand that?
I do.
And that's where I have the problem. I don't have a problem with you being a cryptozoologist and posting about cryptid things on Cryptomundo, and I don't have a problem with you being a human behavior expert with Copycat Effect, and if you want to talk about mass shootings and things like that. But when you bastardize one to foster the other, in my opinion, I think that's cheap and lazy. Okay?
I've done worse.
To what? People?
Not to people. I mean, I guess, and, I don't know Lauren Coleman, and I really don't care about Lauren Coleman, alright? But my, role has always been to kind of play devil's advocate here, I guess, and, making a poor ethical decision, by utilizing something that's maybe a little bit off color or not appropriate at the time to push an ulterior motive. It's like bait and switch marketing 101. It's been done 100,000 times before.
Exactly. And this blog that I posted out here is it's basically the first in the series, the Bigfoot Whisperer, where I actually start out these things and kind of lay the groundwork for a lot of this stuff that I'm going to be talking about. It seems like it's a really big subject, and it's really hard to roll out in one blog post, or actually one episode, because, we can go on and talk about this some more, because it seems like we're running out of little time here in the last 15 minutes, but, that happens because there was other things to talk about, of course, like Bigfoot getting shot in the face, but anyway. So, when that was what first, the Aurora shooting postings on Cryptomundo was the first things that made me raise my eyebrow with Lauren. And I kind of, and then he went away for a while. I didn't notice him. You have an individual on the scene by the name of Melba Ketchum.
that comes along, who is a veterinarian by trade and training and education, who has also done a lot of DNA work with animals by training and trade. No, she doesn't have a PhD in genetics or anything like that, which is what, of course, a lot of the detractors are attacked. You know, everyone looks for a piece of paper on the wall. See, a piece of paper on the wall means, of course, that you are qualified to talk about something, right? So that's a number one where they come after her. Well, not a number one, but that's just one thing that they come after her, right? So I heard about her from George Knapp on Coast to Coast on the weekends, and how she was looking to get a lot of DNA analyzed. She said about 100 pieces, approximately, of DNA evidence to be analyzed in labs, and to kind of map the genome of the Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever, right? And now we're getting to the nuts and bolts of a creature that may exist that will sway my opinion, okay, as to whether or not it exists. Because how can we deny the DNA, right? Would you agree, Nicole? Nicole?
Sorry, my mic. Okay, I'll concede.
Yeah, I mean, we get DNA evidence, we're going to eat some crow, okay? Flat out. There's no way to deny it, okay?
Well, never mind. I feel like there could be DNA anomalies, too.
Sure, and that's, part of the thing. Well, that's part of it, too. There's a lot of ins, a lot of outs, of Melba Ketchum and her DNA research. And one of the things, and this is where, Lauren reared his head again on Coast to Coast. He talked for about 15 minutes. He had an appearance with George Norrie, again as a cryptozoological expert. He comes on, and which he is, maybe just not so much anymore. But he's a big name, you see, and Coast loves their big names. And Coast is also one of the biggest softball throwing places and safe venues for practitioners and wordsmiths that I've basically have coined the term as being in the business of bullshittery. Okay? And the thing with a wordsmith like Lauren is, like I said, I hit him with, well, you make money off of these things. And he comes out and says, no, I don't make money off of the websites and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm rephrasing the question, asking you garner any kind of salary or, what would it be called, Paul?
Not salary, but any kind of compensation.
Any monetary compensation for the posts or work you do with CryptoMove.com. You want to be a wordsmith? Let's play the game, baby. Spin that wheel. Now, he comes on Coast to Coast talking about Melba. And like I said, the wordsmith that he is, he knows not to overtly attack anyone, because God knows we can't do that now. We have to speak in code and be very polite while, quietly condescending and using what's it called? Passive-aggressive, I would call it, because he would always call into question the quote-unquote research or the quote-unquote study. And when he says, quote-unquote, you all know what that means when you're quoting or putting rabbit ears on stuff, you're being funny. right? You're being winked on the radio. That's how you do it. You know, there's no TV, so they can't see you wink. So, yeah, he's backhandedly knocking her research. And why? Because she's running into trouble getting it peer-reviewed, getting other scientists to look at it. B, she had a confidant that was in on the study leak information early before a scientific paper was written. You see, now all of a sudden, we care about science, okay? We care about facts, figures, and things being released prematurely. Well, she's screwing it all up. So you see, she's doing it wrong. I would do it differently. I know people that can do it better. Type stuff. You see, this is all about the passive-aggressive attacks that are on her. And then during his various posts on Cryptomundo about Melba and his appearances and her appearances and everything and the such, there's a guy by the name of Igor that had posted some things on Facebook about the research and saying, hey, we're getting some good results. You know, well, I don't know if he said that verbatim. He's Russian, so kind of, you know, the translation's interesting, that's for sure. Let's see. Get Igor Burtsev is the man's name. The reason he released the information, the reasoning that he gave, was that an old Russian, and that's not a slight because he is an older man, he's used to research being stolen, hidden, destroyed. Okay? This is something that on November 24th he posted. He posted his opinions on everything, and people were like, "Why are you talking about that now?" and everything else. Well, you know, I think I don't want. You know, you talk about the whole playing devil's advocate. This is me playing a devil's advocate for a Russian, in that his deal is that he doesn't want to see things poof come up missing. You know, and that's what happens in old Mother Russia back in the day. You know, so it's a cultural thing, I think.
In Soviet Russia, research does you.
Yeah. Yes. You know, Yeti researches you. So, you know, and that's me playing kid for Igor, you know. And, of course, you know, what Igor did was the biggest no-no in the world, and it ruined everything, right? Ruined the research, and it's all foobar from here on out, you know. So that's what they kind of give him the business, and they give her the business for being in touch with some of these people and all that. And, you know, I actually got through on Coast to Coast that night when Melba was on with George Knapp, and I asked her, you know, she was talking about the people that tried to gain the rights to a film, gain the rights to a book, and try to profit off of her work and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, listen, Melba, why don't you, and you can listen to it, I think I'm like 15 minutes in, the last one, I'm Chip from Raleigh, you didn't know, when I call into Coast to Coast. I said, listen, why don't you out these individuals, you know? First of all, I said, I understand why you're coming under attack. You're coming under attack because you're fighting an established community with multiple products to sell, you know? A lot of people with a lot of work that they've done, a lot of things they've done out in the field, a lot of real boots on the ground that would really look silly, you know, and not have anything to show for it once you drop this the mapping of the genome of the Sasquatch, right, Nicole?
Yeah, I did think you were going to say drop the bass, which made me laugh internally. But, yeah, you're right. It would invalidate a lot of people.
And most of these people have to fight as fiercely as possible to make sure Melba her research does not see the light of day. And I believe that's where Lauren Coleman's passive-aggressive attacks on Cryptomundo are coming in, and his passive-aggressive attacks on Coast to Coast have come into play. I asked her, she wouldn't name the names. I said, well, why won't you name the names of these individuals that are leaking the information, the individuals that are trying to profit off of your work that basically don't have a right to, just because they're investigators as well, Z Bigfoot, and that's the French version of Bigfoot. So I think we had
Z Bigfoot.
Z Bigfoot. So yeah, and she took the high, and then I said, and I had a question for her, out people that are the problem in the community, so other people know who not to go to and deal with. Let's police ourselves. Let's get rid of the unscrupulous individuals out here and expose them for what they are, instead of these glad-handing, mindless minion fostering, living in the past individuals. Okay? And she said, well, I'm just going to take the high road and let my work speak for itself. Commendable. That's fine. I'll do my own work and root out who I can myself on the show, and that's why some come here to listen, I understand that a lot of you enjoy fantasy story time, whether it be paranormal, crypto, or alien. Well, I do too. I try to bring you as many people that don't bring a heavy dose of that to our show, because there's plenty of other places you can get that, And hopefully you come here because I do call out some individuals out here in multiple communities of research that I think are full of crap and not the best for everything. So, and then I asked George Knapp, I said, well, if she's having trouble getting scientists to look at this DNA data, why don't you put her in touch with some of the Robert Bigelow scientists? Skinwalker Ranch and all, Bigelow Aerospace, Bass, the whole deal. A little tongue-in-cheek jab at Knapp there. And after Melba gave her answer, Knapp said, well, the names of the researchers will come out in the end, and there's a possibility she already has been. Which I knew, because if it's anything interesting, Robert Bigelow's going to want his hands on it. So there's that. What else do we have? We're coming up.
Robert Bigelow, male gigolo. We're coming up on a hard stop here.
3 minutes. Show's almost over. Damn it. Okay. So like I said, rolled that out. The next blog I'm going to roll out is a timeline of posts diagramming the passive-aggressive attacks against Melba and the research that Lauren Coleman has been attempting. And I think next time we need to talk about, and I will also be talking about his International Cryptozoology Museum and the terms he uses as a wordsmith there as well, calling himself a non-profit organization there in Maine. In the research that we found, in a nutshell, real quick, in the state of Maine, he is a non-profit. He's declared with the state, but with the federal, Nicole?
He is definitely not a registered nonprofit on any kind of federal level, and he offers no federal tax exemption at this time.
So there's no 501c3, is it called?
That is correct. No 501c3 has been filed within the last 25 years under his cryptozoology museum.
And what's the other paperwork there? The other...
It says 501c3, or 990 is the tax document he'd have to file and make publicly available, and it's not.
As a federal nonprofit. So when he goes out there to solicit your donations, I'm not sure you can claim that on your federal taxes, but you probably can if you are in the state of Maine on your state taxes.
Yeah.
That.
No, I'm not a tax person, so I don't know that for sure. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. I just know that he is not a federal nonprofit. That's beyond a shadow of a doubt, I can tell you that.
So, yeah. In a nutshell, there we go. That's phase one. I'm calling it in the rollout there of the Bigfoot Whisperer, Lauren Coleman, and exposing him as the BS artist that he is, planting one foot in the crypto world, the other foot in a sociological world, and mixing the two and blurring the lines with crafty wordsmanship. And he is more than welcome to come and answer all these questions and set straight, for lack of a better word, if I'm completely out of bounds by calling any of this into question. If he feels so, but I highly doubt he'll come on. So, we will have another episode discussing this, and that is our episode for tonight. Nicole?
Good night. Hopefully next week you won't hear from me because I'll be in labor. Goodbye.
Be in labor next week. We'll have to play a best of a golden oldie or something. I don't know, whatever they call it these days. Next week, I don't have a guest. I don't have any guests scheduled, by the way, unfortunately. I've been slacking, but I do have a list of people like Ted Phillips, Bridget Nielsen, Elaine Douglas, Kirby Robinson, Ted Rowe, Andy Colvin, Winter Lake, Jim Mars, Tom DeLong, Chris George, Micah Hanks, Stan Deo, Ruben Uriante. All can be looking for an email from me in the near and dear future for a interview request. So that's it. Those are some of the names out there that I'm looking for this year to hit up. So welcome to 2013. The future is now, man. Good night.